I ain't gonna lie, y'all. ZipPay done fucked up. ZipPay used to let you pay in 4 payments, whatever. They let you pay in 8 now. In 8 payments over 14 weeks. I'm buying everything. What are you talking about? I bought a whole washer and dryer off of ZipPay before. With the 4 payments. Do you know what I'm about to spend on the 8? ZipPay. You done fucked up.
Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's get into the video.
So you mean to tell me that they're now offering buy now, pay later for DoorDash? For fucking DoorDash. Having to do a 4-time payment plan just to get some cold, soggy ass burger and fries delivered to your house at 1 a.m. is crazy. I highly encourage that you avoid using this at all costs. Like, it's just not worth it. You're craving some Taco Bell at 2 a.m. Babes, how about let's get a little tortilla, shredded cheese, pop it in the microwave for like 15-20 seconds and call it a day. And then just pull up like a mukbang of someone eating Taco Bell while you eat it. And honestly, it'll feel like you're eating Taco Bell, like you're eating a little DIY cheesy roll up. And that's that, guys. Like, stay safe out here. Do not fall for this shit. Like, I have already gotten myself into deep shit with credit card debt and doing Klarna payments for like bigger items. It is not worth it to do it for food delivery service.
Some of y'all using Afterpay, Affirm, Klarna, Pay in 4, all these different buy now, pay later apps. Them people could put a newborn baby on a payment plan and some of y'all will eat it up. And as a collective, we can't say we're not using them because they only here out of necessity. They making big business off of you. So what's wrong with a buy now, pay later app? We're just stretching the payment out a little bit, right? Harmless. You keep stretching them goddamn payments out, you're gonna stretch yourself right into a bad financial situation. And you better not be late. You better not be late for one fucking payment. Them people gonna treat you like Debo from Friday. They gonna charge you maximum interest, 30+%, late fees and all. They gonna come snatch you up out your shoes by your neck and shake all the change out your pockets. Just dangling. And then some people out here using a credit card on Afterpay. You be out here paying from a trip from 3 years ago. So long story short, if you gotta use a buy now, pay later app, you can't afford it. You can't afford it. Please give me a good reason in the comments to why you have to use it. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't think I am, but maybe.
So you're telling me I was scrolling through TikTok and I saw my friend Tyreek and he posted a video and like the article on how you can do buy now, pay later for DoorDash and like food services. And I'm just here to tell you, if you're that lazy where you're going to do the buy now, pay later for DoorDash, for McDonald's, for Starbucks, Chipotle, any of the stuff you can get on DoorDash, you're going to do buy now, pay later, you have a problem. You need to get up and go. If you're even paying for food like that, you need to drive yourself to there to pay for the food. And then if not, you shouldn't be eating out at all if you're doing the buy now, pay later for DoorDash. That is the most ridiculous thing I have ever seen. The buy now, pay later it's a scam. It's what's going to get you deeper and deeper and deeper into the hole. And I don't know how people are still doing it now. The other day I DoorDashed. The fees alone are crazy. You have like a $7.99 service fee. Then you have a delivery fee. And then you also have the tip to go on top of your DoorDash order. Like, it's so ridiculous. So a meal that should have cost like maybe $30, $35 comes out to like almost $50, $55 because of all the tax, the service fees, the delivery fee, and the tip. When you could save all that and just go buy the food, but I was at work. Or, like, but I'm not going to do buy now, pay later, you know what I mean? Like, that's not going to happen. You need to go get food or cook some food or eat ramen noodles.
Someone explain to me how everyone says that they're struggling. Everyone says that they're living paycheck to paycheck right now. But then you go look at Disney and the lines are gigantic. You look at concerts, they're packed. The tickets sell out in seconds. How can everyone, and I mean everyone, be supposedly struggling so bad, but then simultaneously they're also doing all of the things that require money that are not necessities? I'm not kidding you when I say everyone. Like, I don't know a single person who I have talked to who has said, Man, things are just great right now, economically and financially for me. Last time I heard someone say that was like 2021. I can attest to this personally because I just launched a supplement business in January. I did not expect it to take off. I did not expect it to do very well early on, or even at all. But I was wrong. It's doing extremely well, so much so that I've had to scale back the advertising because I'm about to run out of stock right after launching. The cheapest thing my supplement business offers is $70. That is the least you can spend on anything. Make it make sense.
I actually like Klarna and Buy Now Pay Later, and that may be extremely controversial, but I stick by my reasonings and I'm going to let you know why. Let's just add in here that Buy Now Pay Later itself isn't actually a bad product if used correctly. However, I don't think it's marketed too well, and it can be bad if used incorrectly. This is one of the reasons why I like it, so let's use this as an example. So on Saturday, I'm going to a baby shower. I've organised the baby shower, so of course the last thing I've thought about is my own outfit. The baby shower is literally in a couple of days, so I've panic bought loads of dresses because I need to find something for Saturday, and I'm going to end up sending majority of this order back because of course I'm only going to wear one dress, so I'm only keeping one dress. And when I got to checkout, Klarna was an option, so I can have the product now but pay in 30 days. And that's brilliant because within those 30 days, before I have to pay for all these products, I can send all of the dresses back that I won't be keeping, which means instead of paying, say, £100 for all of these dresses, I can pay in 30 days and pay for just the one that I've kept. This means that a big bulk of money hasn't come out of my account for stuff that I'm not keeping, and I don't have to wait for a refund to come through, so I'm keeping hold of my money and only paying for the thing that I actually kept, which I think is brilliant because I don't know about you, but I hate waiting for refunds. I feel like I've lost the money. It's annoying. I'm like, when is this refund going to come through? And it just messes around with your finances, especially if you're a budgeter. And another reason is being able to spread the cost. So again, another disclaimer, if you are someone who knows that you don't have the funds and you don't know where the funds are going to come from to pay for your Klarna or Buy Now Pay Later, you shouldn't be using it. You need to make sure that you've got the money and you're using it correctly. But for example, Christmas is a very, very expensive time of year. You've got loads of social outgoings, you've got presents, you're buying outfits for yourself because of all these social events, and it's a busy time. So if you could use like pay in 3, why not, when you can pay it off in January, February, March, when typically a lot more people don't have as much going on and aren't spending as much as they are in December. So it can help you to budget better. The spreading the payments across different months is very good, and the Buy Now Pay Later option where you literally get something, especially if, like me, you're ordering a big order that you know you're not going to keep much of, why not pay for it later and send it all back before you have to pay for it, and then you only have to pay for the stuff you actually kept. So yeah, they're my reasons that I actually do think Buy Now Pay Later can be good. Again, it's not marketed too great, and I don't think it should be offered to everybody, and I think it should be regulated more than it is. But typically, if you do know that you've got the money and you're using it sensibly, I do think it does reap some benefits. Let me know what you think in the comments.
So I know I made a video about how the Buy Now Pay Later services are going to start reflecting on your credit report and how it can negatively affect you, but I didn't talk about the positives, because there most certainly are some positives. If you need to build credit or if you have no credit, it can definitely help your credit report. If you need an installment on your credit, this will definitely help you. And if you have perfect payment history, this will definitely give you a boost. So it definitely can be beneficial. The only downside is that it's not going to last forever. As soon as you pay it off, it's going to close because these report as installments. So any type of installment has an end date. Because this has an end date, it means that it's going to be a closed account. So you definitely don't want to have too many of them reporting on your credit report, because that could negatively start impacting your credit. But it can most certainly help your credit report if you are needing to build credit or have no credit. So if you are paying these on time and you have good payment history and you need to build credit, this is actually going to be really good for you.
I come to you today with a public service announcement about Buy Now, Pay Later apps. I saw that was a commonly searched term on TikTok, and it is more than applicable to mortgages. If you have heard of Affirm or Klarna or anything like that, if you're buying a house, don't use them. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. because it can affect how much you are pre-approved for and your purchase price, and we have to count those monthly payments into what you qualify for. And if it doesn't show up on your credit report, but you're making those payments out of your bank account and we can see them coming out of your bank account, that could be really bad. So I recommend not using them if you are buying a house. If you aren't buying a house, have at her. But that's my piece of advice for the day.
I just saw a report that said 36% of Americans are in travel debt willingly. That literally makes me want to throw up. I talked about this before and y'all literally dragged me in the comments saying, well, we're going to get into debt anyway, so we might as well have fun while we're doing it, traveling. No matter how much you try to flip this narrative, I'll never get down with this. You should be striving not to be in debt with anything. I don't care what it is. Soon as I saw that trend of people using the buy now, pay later services to book travel, I knew it was a wrap. If you're going to use those services, at least pay off the last trip before you go on the next one. You're setting yourself up for failure. Those services are literally worse than when, you remember when we graduated from high school and they were sending out all those credit cards for you to apply for? It was like, you gonna get approved easily. The buy now, pay later services are now that in the modern day. Listen, I love Gen Z. I love y'all thought process and everything, but this, y'all need to go talk to y'all mamas and daddies and get some freaking advice. Because you're going to be real mad when you get older and try to go get a loan for that $30,000 condo you're trying to pay because all the interest rates went all the way down to the ground. And now people are getting all the property for zero on the dollar, but you can't get nothing because you went to Cancun. Went to Cancun and spent almost $20,000 on buy now, pay later credit. Where they do that at?
Using buy now, pay later does not make you broke. Just like using credit cards does not mean that you are broke or that you can't afford something. And I actually don't like this narrative. Living beyond your means genuinely just means that you can't afford the things that you are buying. It does not dictate that if you buy it a certain way that you can't afford something. And being an intentional spender means that you understand all your different ways that you can spend and you do it in a strategic way. Do I use buy now, pay later? No. It just never really fit in my money system. However, I have used Chase and Amex's buy now and pay later feature, and I don't really care for them. But I also don't assume anything about people whether they choose to use it or not. Some people prefer buy now and pay later because they don't want to use credit and they don't want credit cards. For other people, it's psychological. They prefer seeing smaller amounts coming out of their account versus bigger amounts. There are also a few different use cases that I've heard that people use buy now and pay later that just make sense to me. Like one of my friends uses buy now and pay later to order clothes. She does her hauls, gets the same size of multiple pieces, the same thing, tries on what she can. So now it's like a $20 try on instead of a $200 try on, and sends back what she doesn't fit. It doesn't scream broke. It doesn't mean that you are living beyond your means. It is just what it is.
For the love of pepperoni, please, please, please do not do that shop now, pay later. It's not good for you or your credit card or your debit card. Just don't do shop now, pay later. If you got the money, you got the money. If you don't got the money, you don't have the money.
If you ever needed a sign that we're in a recession, here you go. Before it get posted all over the news, even though they be late, weeks late, months late, before they announce it, they waiting on everybody tax money to run out. As soon as tax money gone, if it wasn't for tax time right now, it'll already be more easily visible. But DoorDash is rolling out with Klarna. That's a buy now and pay later. Basically, you can lay away food. You can buy whatever the hell you want. Spend $100 at damn restaurant and ain't got to worry about it. Just pay it back $20 a week, $15 a week. That's bad as hell for the economy. And businesses like DoorDash know that. They not doing Klarna to help you. They doing that to help themselves. Because if you don't have any money to spend with them, that means they go bankrupt and lose money as well. So the best thing in their interest is to hurt you even further. Because if you don't have it in your pocket to pay for food right now, on top of the other bills that you got credited, it's going to put you further and further and further in the hole. Every time you turn around, it's another bill. If you absolutely need it, cool, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying the psychology behind it on why they doing it. They're doing it more so to help themselves. Because if you don't got money to spend with the company, as it's starting to slow up, they losing out on millions of dollars. So they like, we'll front you this money from wherever you want to order it from, knowing human psychology. Whenever they get something on credit, it just feels like it's kind of free because they ain't got to pay for it right then. But in return, pay even more for it, which you already didn't even have in the first place. Here go this article if y'all want to look at it. DoorDash, buy now, pay later for fast food. It's crazy. I thought it was wild saying you can buy now, pay later Jordans and shit with a firm. Damn near now, there ain't nothing you can't get for the buy now, pay later. Walmart, You can get all the everything. Shit getting out of hand, bro.
A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's continue the video.
I am going to hold your hand when I say this. Afterpay, Klarna, ZipPay, and all those buy now later platforms are not your friends. They do not have your best interest in heart. They're companies that are designed to pry and profit off your spending habits, off late payment fees, on you spending more money than you actually have, and purchasing things that you really can't afford at that particular time. So I know you don't want to hear it, but they're not your friends. And although I'm not a financial advisor, I highly recommend you break up with them.
Okay, so if you're using buy now, pay later accounts like Affirm, Klarna, or Afterpay, and you're getting ready to purchase a home, I need you to listen up. I'm going to let you know how these accounts can possibly slow down or hinder your mortgage approval. My name is Whitley Cooper. I'm the mortgage broker and owner of Advocate Home Loans. These accounts can be super convenient, but they can sneak up on you during the mortgage process. Here's the deal. These accounts don't show up on your credit report, so you think you're in the clear. But guess what? They do show up on your bank statements as withdrawals. The word on the street is that if you start using these kinds of accounts, you kind of can't stop and you just keep adding them on. When your loan officer or underwriter reviews your bank statements, the payments that you're making for these accounts are going to get factored into your debt to income ratio. And that can impact how much you qualify for or even your approval altogether. So here's my advice. Pay off the buy now, pay later accounts before you submit your mortgage approval. Or if possible, submit the bank statements from an account that doesn't show these withdrawals. Being strategic about your finances when getting ready to purchase a home is key. And if you need more tips, follow me for all things mortgages and home ownership. And let me know if you have any questions in the comments on how to get home ready.
Using Klarna to pay for your fashion overhaul isn't self-care. It's self-sabotage. Listen, I get it. Those outfits looked real good on the website, and those foreign payments make you feel like the low expense makes the fit worthwhile. But let me remind you, breaking it up into payments doesn't make it cheaper. It just makes you feel like you're not spending as much. The lack of credit checks and interest rates are designed to make it easier for you to spend above your means. Buy now, pay later is debt, no matter how you look at it. You can dress up a lie in fancy words, but it's still not the truth. Whether it's Klarna or Affirm or any other offer, steer clear from the temptation and stay within your means. The rule of thumb is to being able to buy it twice up front without worrying. For those who have a spending problem, what'll be helpful for you is to build your cart and leave it for 72 hours before you click purchase. Give yourself a chance to rethink this decision. Is it really a need, or am I just letting Klarna trick me into feeling rich when I'm stressed out waiting on the next paycheck?
Buy now, pay later apps are not inherently bad. And this idea of buy now, pay later is not a new idea. Your house is buy now, pay later. Your car, if you have a car note, it is buy now, pay later. It's the same concept. Your credit cards, buy now, pay later. It's the same concept. Spend the money now and pay over a period of time. Now, if you are financially irresponsible, if you have poor money management habits, then do not use this service because you will just get into a lot of debt. If you're very poor with any sort of money whatsoever, these services are not for you. But if you are financially literate and responsible, you can use the service, no problem. It is not the service that is the problem, guys. It's the people who use the service irresponsibly that is the issue. That's it.
If you're one of the 360 million Americans that use buy now, pay later apps, or have you been a victim of one of the buy now, pay later apps, this is for you. Today, the CFPB said that they are requiring buy now, pay later apps to comply with credit laws. So what does that mean? That means that if there is any fraudulent activity that has happened, the buy now, pay later apps have to take care of it, just like the banks do. So this is an article from CNBC, and it says right here under key points, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau declared on Wednesday that consumers of the burgeoning buy now, pay later industry have the same federal protections as users of credit cards. So then it goes on to say that means the industry currently dominated by fintech firms like Affirm, Klarna, and PayPal must make refunds for returned products or canceled services
must investigate merchant disputes and pause payments during those probes, and must provide bills with fee disclosures. This is the policy for getting a refund directly through a firm. You basically have to contact the store directly where you made your purchase and confirm the refund. However, this is very inconvenient for those who actually do have fraud, where somebody may have used their firm. It's like, now why do they have to contact the company and try to get that money back from the store when they should just be able to go to a firm? So I do agree that if they're going to be able to provide the service, that they should be able to give you your money back if you really did not do that purchase. I've heard people say that they have had a hard time getting refunds back. So if you have had that situation happen to you, it should be a lot easier if you do come across this. This new law will take in effect in 60 days from today, which is May 22nd. And I do predict that it's going to be a lot harder to get these buy now, pay later apps because they are going to do a lot more prospecting due to the new laws. That's just my prediction.
Buy now, pay later apps are actually destroying your credit. As an ex-banker, let me tell you how. Whenever you submit for a buy now, pay later loan, your credit is being pulled every single time. Having too many hard inquiries on your credit in a short period of time not only decreases your credit score and racks up how many hard inquiries you have, it also, if you go to buy a car or a house or something you're actually needing, they're gonna look at how many hard inquiries you have, and that shows the lender that you're a higher risk and they're less likely to lend you money. Hard inquiries stay on your credit report for 2 years. So every time that you're doing one of those Klarna, Sezzle, buy now, pay later, you're dinging your credit, and those will be on there for 2 years. Also leads me to say, if you can't afford it up front, you don't need it. Like that's a hard thing to, come to terms with, but I promise you it will change your life if you change your mind, your perspective.
Oh, let me just say, if you was to ever get banned from any buy now, pay later apps, you just might be financially irresponsible. And hey, trust me, I'm not judging you. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I'm gonna ever be able to use Klarna again. I don't think I'm ever using Klarna again. I don't remember how old I was when they first started coming out with stuff like that, but I was very terrible with money at that time. So when they came out with that, I wreaked havoc. Only thing with me was that I bought expensive stuff. I bought like stuff that was like $300, $500. I paid it back eventually, but like during the time, they would get their money back very slowly. And to y'all now, y'all bold, because y'all will abuse all of them at one time. And I couldn't see me doing that. Please use those carefully.
Okay, now y'all, hold on. Whoa, okay? Because people are really in my comments upset because I'm talking about buy now, pay later options. Like, I've been getting comments like, oh, you shouldn't be telling people about this option. It's going to ruin people's credits. I haven't had that issue happen to me. I'm just the messenger. I'm just providing the tools. Like, come on. I'm not the one that's telling people to actually go out and do it. I'm just giving them the option and giving them the tools because I know how to use it. I work in retail, so I'm pretty familiar with Afterpay and Klarna. So I know it can help and benefit families. Like, that's all I'm trying to do. I'm not telling people you better go out and use buy now, pay later. Like, yeah, just run up everything. Just buy up the whole store and just get it on credit. I'm not saying that. But I'm not going to stop talking about it because I know a lot of people need it. And you probably do too. It's probably the same people in my comments just coming for me are probably the main ones that either have a question about it or you probably did try to use it and your purchase power wasn't all that. But that's neither here nor there. That's none of my business. But all I'm doing is just providing the tools. That's it. Like, all seriousness, if you do have any questions, all you have to do is just let me know in the comments because, like I said, I work in retail, so I know how to, figure these things out. Like, I can figure this shit, for a living. So, if you have any questions, just drop it in the comments. Like, don't be going for me, though, because I'm just trying to help the people out.
Buy now, pay later services are going to have y'all in so much trouble, you're not going to know how to get out. I'm for to sound like the old uncle right now, but I am very concerned about this generation and how they utilize these services. I'm going to go into detail about this topic in my newsletter, but it's so important to me to get this message out that I want to make a video about it right now. These kids are utilizing these services, which that's what they're here for, but you have to use them, responsibly. They're using these services to book so many outlandish flights and trips to places where, we can't even imagine to go. But they're booking these trips with these services, and they're going on a trip without it even being paid for and dealing with the repercussions later. This is worse from when we were in high school. And when you graduated, maybe in college, they started sending you out these credit cards and everything. And your parents was like, oh, don't do that. Don't do that. I feel like this is worse. I believe travel is for everyone. I've always had that message. I believe that everyone deserves to travel and experience life outside of their city. But like my mama used to tell me, you don't go nowhere if your bills ain't paid. We need to move from this mindset of thinking what we see on social media is better than the life that we live. Because 9 times out of 10, it ain't really what it's given. Young travel friends, listen, I don't know where your parents at. I don't know what's going on. But if nobody's going to tell you, listen here right now. Don't you try to keep up with the Joneses trying to fly out, get flued out, pretend like you get these people pretending they getting flued out. Just stop. Because you're going to find yourself in a place where you can't get out. And nobody wants to be 10 feet under that.
This is just a quick reminder to say that if you're relying on buy now, pay later apps such as Klarna to do your shopping, then just stop. It might seem good on the surface, however these companies prey on people who are not able to afford their repayments. If you can't afford it, don't buy it.
If you're using buy now, pay later, you got to stop. Now, you might be thinking, why have you always got to throw a spanner in the works? What is wrong with buy now, pay later? You get the item you want, it's interest-free, and you get to break up the payment. How could that be so bad? Well, you have to understand, no company will give you money unless it benefits them. And what is the benefit for these companies? Now, they know the first time you use it, the second time or the third time, that you will be using it to purchase items you would have purchased anyway and paid for upfront. But by the 4th or 5th time that you are now using it, you're using it to purchase items that you wouldn't ordinarily need or want or be able to afford. But you justify it in your head saying, it's not like I have to pay for it today. Anyway, I can pay for it over 3 payments. It will mean nothing to me. But what happens is that 25% of buy now, pay later users are missing payments. 32% of buy now, pay later users are struggling to keep up with payments. Don't get yourself stuck in this trap, getting sold by the marketing ploy. It goes back to the fundamentals. If you can't afford to pay for it cash, you can't afford the item. And if you can't afford to pay for it upfront, then just pay for it upfront and keep yourself out of this trap.
Never use Affirm, Afterpay, or Klarna.
So I usually use TikTok to post like workout videos, but this man's talking about something that I focus a lot on, which is financial products, and that's my job. I'm a reporter for a major news organization and write about this stuff a lot. I think he misunderstands how buy now, pay later works quite extremely. So a few things. One, buy now, pay later largely operates outside the credit scoring system. And this has been written by not just me, but like the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and other major news organizations where people who are using buy now, pay later as a way to sort of build up their score, they're not building up their score. They're not really doing anything to their score because the buy now, pay later companies don't operate in the credit scoring system. They do use your social security number, that man is correct, but they use it only for basically identity verification purposes. And yes, if you take out a big loan from a firm or any of them and you don't pay it back, it's probably going to go into collections, and collections will get reported on your credit score. I don't know if it's going to drop your credit score by 200 points, which I think that man puts up. Basically, bankruptcy would put your score in the 500s. Based on what I can guess by this man's model. The big issue when it comes to buy now, pay later is actually the lack of communication about credit scoring. So they talk about what's known as double dipping. So you could take out a loan from a firm, a loan from Afterpay, and a loan from Klarna, and they would never know that you took out 3 loans from those 3 companies because they don't talk to each other. So unlike in a traditional credit scoring system where the minute you apply for a Capital One card, JP Morgan Chase, Amex, and all of the big credit card companies know you've opened that credit card. So there's not a lot of communication happening from the buy now, pay later companies, and federal regulators are currently working on that. But these companies are very new, and the purpose of these companies is really the more short-term loans. So if you like paying something, buying for and paying it off in like 4 payments or in 3 months, they're very good for you because they have a beginning date and end date, but they're not good for building up credit. And I think this man misunderstands how they work, and I am not doing big fancy effects and I'm not doing big fancy things. But if you do want more information or you want to read what I've written about this stuff, I'm happy to send it to you. Just send me a message in TikTok, or I can post a link in a comment or something like that. Thanks.
So I watched a video on YouTube, and she was talking about, or doing a reaction video to people on TikTok talking about how much Afterpay or buy now, pay later debt that they have. And I was like laughing because it's like, wow, like we complain about credit cards, but yet we want to abuse or utilize these buy now, pay laters like Klarna, Afterpay, and whatever else is out there, because I don't use them. I have enough credit card debt. I don't need to put myself in more debt. And yes, it's debt because you owe those shoes, those clothes, that vacation that you can't afford. You're making payments on materialistic consumerism stuff, and it's crazy. At least with credit cards, you can pay a bill. So like don't like complain, or these people, they weren't even like complaining. They were kind of like, some were kind of weird and like laughing about how much like payments they have in these Afterpays. Like there's this one that went viral. She had $1,200 worth of payments in Klarna or Afterpay or whatever, which one she used. I was like, wow, these same people that hate capitalism and hate the U.S. sure do know how to take advantage of the advantages we have living in this country to accumulate so much unnecessary debt. And this is a lot of people, not just a generational thing. Like you see all ages just being ridiculous. Like you complain about how much things are, but yet you're buying stuff you can't afford. You have to make payments on a $50 pair of shoes. If you can't afford that, like you would think that you just wouldn't buy it, but now like, oh, I can split up like a $40 payment. Like, no. You guys can come for me all you want, but like I said, at least credit cards, you can pay bills if you come up short. Afterpay or buy now, pay laters, that's just straight up consumerism, and that's just buying stuff that you don't need. And it's like, if you can't afford life, don't complain that you have no money, because all of your money is going to stuff you can't afford.
In today's episode of It's Really Fucking Expensive to Be Poor, let's talk about buy now, pay later plans. If you followed me, you know that we were staying with family and it became a toxic situation. So we had to leave pretty quickly, like within a day. Now, when we had moved in with our family, we moved across the country again to be with them. We sold all our furniture because it was cheaper than shipping it back. And we figured when we got a house here in a year, whatever, we would just buy new furniture. It didn't work out like that, obviously. And we left and didn't take any furniture with us because most of it wasn't ours. We were able to rent a U-Haul van last weekend, and my husband and son went when no one was home and managed to get stuff that was ours, like my son's mattress and a dresser, but that was about it. So we literally have no furniture. Our apartment is empty. I do have a very nice friend who has gifted us a set of couches. We're just waiting figure out a way to get those here. But yeah, we need a bunk bed for the kids because 2 beds aren't going to fit in that room. We needed a bed. We needed a table. So what did we do? What do you do? I scoured Marketplace. I couldn't find anything. It's just, yeah. So I went on to a big furniture store and applied for their financing buy now, pay later plan. I didn't think I would get approved because, like I've said, our credit isn't great. But I did end up getting approved for like $4,000. So we picked out a bunk bed, mattresses. What else we got? We got a bed frame for us. So we're going to use the full mattress that was my son's at our family's house. We got a dining room table, and like a entertainment unit. I literally picked the cheapest of everything, and it still was like $3,900. It's not here yet. It was supposed to come today. Now, apparently it's getting delivered tomorrow. But we did the buy now, don't pay for 12 months, no interest thing. If I do not pay this $3,900 in full by the due date, the interest rate is 39.99%. 40%. Like, this is predatory. Plus a $100 fee for using this payment plan. It's crazy. But we have no choice. Like so many people. What are you supposed to do? It is so fucking expensive to be poor.
So as we are approaching holiday season and holiday shopping, I want to talk about buy now, pay later services. What makes them so appealing, being easy and convenient and allowing you to space out purchases now over time, also makes them a little bit risky. I'm not telling you you can't use them. I'm just saying that if you're going to use them, you want to be conscious of how you're doing it. Because over 40% of people who have used buy now, pay later services have said that they've missed a payment or made a late payment, and usually that comes with fees, and it can also negatively impact your credit score. And because they are so convenient and easy, that makes it convenient and easy to start getting yourself into debt and getting yourself into a cycle of having to make payments that you can't afford in the future. It's really easy to just click that buy button and not think about whether you can afford that payment 15 days down the road. And since the majority of people who use them admit to overspending, they can really trap you in a cycle that's hard to get out of.
Alright, here's why I don't think you should ever use buy now, pay later services, because honestly, it's kind of a scam. And the reason I'm saying this is because it really promotes the bad habit of overspending. Because the whole reason why you're using a buy now, pay later service is because you simply just can't afford it right now. And that just means that you just shouldn't even get it in the first place. And I know sometimes it advertises and says like, oh, like it's 0% interest. And I guess that's true in a certain extent. Like if you do like pay that back within that amount, yes, 0 interest. But let's be for real, there's a lot of people out there that just don't have that discipline. And same with their credit cards. Chances are if you have a really low credit score, then you should absolutely not be touching buy now, pay later services. Especially in places that serve like really essential things like food. Like if you can't afford it, just please avoid it. You'll save yourself the financial headache like later down the road, and like trust me, it feels a lot better to be debt free. Like I'll just say that. But yeah, let me know what your experiences are with buy now, pay later services, and if you've had your own agreements or disagreements with this.
So I just found out that apparently a business called Klarna, Klarna, is going to be teaming up with DoorDash so that they can offer pay later, so that you can pay an installment plan. Like you can get an installment plan and pay in installments and make payments on a DoorDash order. Now, I get that this is probably going to be used more for like giant catering orders, and in that case, yeah, it makes sense. But inevitably, there are going to be people who see that they can pay later for a meal, and they're going to do that, and they're going to do it again, and they're going to do it again. And people are going to end up in lifelong debt because of DoorDash orders. Because if you don't pay it back in time, then interest starts to accrue. And interest will continue to accrue until you pay it back. And then you end up in collections because you wanted a $20 meal off DoorDash.
I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And I'll see you guys in the next video.